Good afternoon, everyone. I am Louie, and on behalf of our group today, good afternoon. Today, we will be discussing the strategic implementation on the business and functional levels. So, without any further ado, let's begin. Understanding how strategies are implemented and how they affect an organization's performance is the justification for studying it at the business and functional levels. The strategic management process important phase of strategy execution is turning strategic plans into actionable projects and initiatives. So, after a company crafts or creates its vision, mission, goals, and objectives, or VMGO for short, the different business and functional units have to formulate their own VMGO. The VMGO of the business and functional units must be consistent with the overall corporate level strategy and other business units. The business and functional level strategies must be efficiently implemented in order to achieve a company's objective or series of objectives. The implementation of the business and functional level strategies is made possible through the preparation of the following, which will also be discussed by my colleagues or my constituents in the succeeding topics. So, first we have programs, then the budgets, then third are the procedures. So the programs, budgets, and procedures at the business level must be anchored on the objectives of a business unit. In a similar manner, the programs, budgets, and procedures at the functional level must be anchored on the objectives of the functional units. Moreover, the objectives of the functional units must not also just um, anchored on its corresponding units, but it should also be consistent with the objectives of the business units and vice versa. Okay. All employees in the business and functional levels equally participate in the implementation of the business and functional level strategies with varying degrees of accountabilities and responsibilities. The implementation is spearheaded by the business and functional level managers or supervisors. So the programs, budgets, the programs, budgets, and guidelines serve as the roadmap in the implementation of the business and functional level strategies. So, as you can see here, the hierarchy of these elements contains information about the target, people involved, cost, expected completion time, and expected output. So, today, guys, our report will revolve here on the business and functional level objectives and its corresponding hierarchies. So, when we say business and functional level objective, we are asking about what to accomplish and when. So, after that, program follows, which are the activities needed to achieve the objective. So, after the programs, we have budgets, the expected revenue and cost of the program. And after that is the procedures, which are the steps, the necessary steps to accomplish the program. So after that, um, my members will be discussing these elements in the table or in the hierarchy.
Hello, I am Juname M. Bernard. So now we have here the program. A strategic program is a plan embodying the different activities that must be accomplished to achieve the objectives of a company. Each business and functional unit prepares a program distinct to a certain extent and from the other units. Functional level strategies are the actions and goals assigned to various departments that support your business level strategy and corporate level strategy. These strategies specify the outcomes you want to see achieved from the daily operations of specific departments or the functions of your business. Programs vary in content and structure across business and functional units. For example, in production and operation functional unit, representatives may come separately from the purchasing, shipping, and quality control units. We have here the steps that are to be observed in the preparation of the program. First, we have to define the business or the functional objective. Second, set the key performance indicator or what we call the KPI. Third, identify the people involved, dates for program review, and completion time. And lastly, we have to prepare the program report. Next is to define the business and functional objective. The first step in setting the business or the functional level program is to define the objective. It must be horizontally consistent with the objectives of other business and functional units. In setting an objective, one must follow the SMART principle: the specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and the time-bound. Set the key performance indicator. So the key performance indicator or the KPI is a quantifiable form of measurement used to determine how the company effectively achieves its objectives. An effective KPI must be based on reliable data and should fit to the particular program, process, or activity being measured. Information collected from KPI results is commonly used in strategy evaluation and control. Most KPIs fall under the following broad classifications. First is to increase customer value or the number of complaints. Second, improve production process, the average processing time. Third, reduce manufacturing cost, the number of waste or the spoilage. And fourth, increase sales revenue, increase of the new customers. Next, we have to identify the people involved, dates for program, review, and the completion time. The strategic program for a project, activity, or the process requires people who are going to execute these strategic activities to pinpoint responsibilities and accountabilities. These people must have the necessary knowledge, skills, and competency to efficiently achieve the desired output.
Next, let's talk about the preparation of program reports, budgets, and procedures. First, we have the preparation of program reports. Program reports differ in structure and content. Companies can benefit from preparing strategic program reports to better understand their current financial situations and plan for future growth. Understanding how to write a program report can increase an organization's efficiency and help establish long-term growth. Every business and functional unit prepares its own program report at the end of a project. In addition, a program report typically has the following key elements. These are the objectives, key performance indicators, issues, and solutions. Thus, objectives are the measurable achievements that can aid the business in achieving its ultimate goals. By taking into account an organization's mission and how it ties to its vision, you may determine its goals. And by developing key performance indicators, you may determine if a company is accomplishing its objectives. For instances, tracking repeat business can assist a company in evaluating client satisfaction. Also, a comprehensive strategy report identifies problems that a business has previously encountered. It can also indicate whether similar problems are likely to come up again in the future. Afterward, the solutions that you present in your strategy report can address past issues. You can also explain how the organization plans to minimize or eliminate these issues in its future operations. On the other hand, after the program report being finalized, it is then communicated to all members of the business and functional units. In general, the language of the program must be clear, concise, and simple. It must lead to understanding, not doubts and confusion. Next, we have the budget. Without a clear and detailed budget, you may face unexpected costs, delays, or gaps in your strategy execution. To make sure that your strategic goals are attainable, reasonable, and in line with your resources, it is essential to create a budget for the implementation of your strategy. A budget is a plan expressed in quantitative monetary value. It includes revenue and expenditure. In addition, the basis of a budget is the business and functional level strategic objectives in coordination in a program. And in preparing a budget, the resources of a company are taken into account. This may serve as the cap that will limit the setting of the budgeted amount. Lastly, we have the procedures. The procedures, otherwise known as the standard operating procedures, specify the detailed or step-by-step process to be carried out to achieve the completion of a program. In addition, a standard operating procedure is a set of written guidelines outlining the precise steps that must be done to carry out a regular task. To ensure that the firm maintains consistency and complies with industry norms and business standards, SOPs should be adhered to exactly the same way each time. So there are the different types of format of procedures, which are the simple steps, hierarchical step, and the flowchart format.
And now, let's proceed to the summary of this discussion. Unit 3 discusses the third stage of strategic management, which is the strategy implementation. It involves putting the formulated strategy into action. At the corporate level, strategy implementation involves the identification of the vision, mission, goals, objectives, strategy, and policy of a company. So the president, vice president, chief executive officer, chief operating officer, and the senior manager are involved in the implementation of the corporate level strategy. So, in order to have more understanding between the strategy formulation and the strategy implementation, let's differentiate it. So, when we say strategy formulation, it is all about planning and deciding what an organization should do, while the strategy implementation, it is the execution and the operationalization of those plans. Both phases are critical in the strategic management process, and they are interconnected, as effective implementation relies on well-formulated strategy. The figure in this slide shows the relationship between the strategy formulation and the strategy implementation. Under with the strategy formulation, this includes the growth strategy, stability strategy, and retrenchment strategy that is being discussed by the past presenters. Under with the implementation strategy, this includes the vision and mission, goals and objectives, strategy, and policy. So the top management formulates and implements the corporate level strategy. At the business and the functional level, a strategy is implemented through the preparation and administration of programs, budgets, and procedures. So the figure in this slide shows the middle and the lower manager formulate and implement business and functional level strategy. It is important for the business and the functional unit strategies to be vertically and horizontally consistent. Companies that fail to consider the relationship between the business and the functional level strategies may face difficulties in achieving business competitive advantage, growth, and the customer value and satisfaction. So, in summary, programs, budgets, and procedure provide the structure, guidance, and control necessary to translate a strategic plan into actionable steps, allocate resources wisely, and monitor progress effectively. They are integral to the successful implementation of the company's strategy. The business level strategy defines how a company competes its industry and capture a competitive edge, while the functional level strategies, it focuses on optimizing the internal functions to support the overall business strategy. Both are crucial for the success of the sustainability of a company. And that was the end of our report. I hope you learned something and thank you for listening.